The rumors have been swirling for months. Whispers on the internet, cryptic developer hints. Is a new era of Nintendo gaming finally upon us? Buckle up, because recent leaks about the Switch 2 are making this gamer very hyped. We're talking potential features that could change everything. Breathtaking graphics, ridiculously long battery life, even games we never thought possible on a portable console. It was evident from the Switch's October 2016 unveiling that Nintendo was preparing for its greatest leap yet. The Nintendo Switch is currently the third best-selling video game system of all time, proving that the company's gamble paid off nearly 7 years later. You might be shocked that Nintendo is ready to move on given the system's ongoing popularity, but the firm has never delayed the release of a home console by more than 7 years. The Nintendo Switch 2 is on the way. However, that could alter this generation. Given Nintendo's track record of releasing successful consoles, it was reasonable to anticipate for months that the next Switch would appear sometime in 2024. Reports, such as one from Video Games Chronicle, quoting insiders who stated the business is expected to introduce its next system in the second half of 2024, supported that view. Dr. Serkan Toto, a consultant for the game business, said BGC, "I would generally say that looking at Nintendo's financials, it seems clear that it's time for a new piece of hardware in 2024. In the current fiscal year, hardware is already predicted to decline by 16.5% year-over-year, while software is predicted to decline by 15.9%. A new gadget is the only thing that can prevent these losses from completely blowing up in the upcoming fiscal year, and the second part of 2024 seems like a reasonable release date to me." From the dearth of Switch releases scheduled for the autumn to a leak suggesting September 24 will be the day the Switch 2 reached shop shelves, all signals previously pointed to fall 2024. However, recent claims indicate that Nintendo encountered a roadblock somewhere along the route. According to a number of trustworthy sources, the Switch 2 won't be released until early 2025. $399 seems possible if the Switch 2 is as big of a technological advancement as some of the rumors indicate. In 2017, the Switch was introduced at a price of $299. The OLED variant is sold for $349. It may seem expensive to pay $399 for a hybrid console with an LCD screen, but the real cost will depend on what's inside. The same Discord user who previously stated that Nintendo will release a Switch 2 that is exclusively digital for $399 and a Switch 2 that can play physical game cartridges for $449 supports that $399 price tag. Although all Switch models include a cartridge slot, this generation's consoles from Sony and Microsoft are exclusively available digitally and therefore priced cheaper. It appears that Nintendo will follow suit in 2024 if this rumor is accurate. There's no denying that Nintendo's upcoming system will resemble the Switch in appearance. From the extremely inexpensive, portable Switch Lite model to the more expensive and high-end Switch OLED model, all three of the Switch's variations have garnered a following. Although it might not have the same appearance, we fully anticipate another hybrid Nintendo product in 2024. The only information we currently know about the Switch 2's design comes from patents that Nintendo has submitted. We're making do with what we have, even if the patents may not be related to the upcoming Switch and the gadgets they include may never be released. October 2023 saw the publication of the first of 2 patents that Game Rant discovered, which had been submitted in late 2022. Although the patent filing's graphics are somewhat basic, they depict a console that looks a lot like the Switch. The controls appear to be integrated into the console, which is the main distinction. This may indicate that Nintendo is abandoning the Joy-Con controllers that detach from the body. A touchscreen with pressure sensitivity is also mentioned in the patent. In the second patent, which was also published in October 2023, we see a completely different gadget. In actuality, this idea consists of 2 separate gadgets. They resemble the 3DS when connected. However, one of the devices has an additional third display on its exterior shell. Nintendo has a sizable catalog of DS and 3DS titles that are incompatible with current hardware, as we pointed out at the time. This might indicate that the business won't give up on such titles. The Switch 2 was tipped to have an 8-inch LCD display by Bloomberg in January 2024, which was the most significant design leak to date. According to Omdia analyst Hiroshi Hayase, who was mentioned in the publication, Nintendo will be in charge of shipments of amusement displays that double in 2024 as it increases manufacturing of its next hybrid system. Two sources were quoted by the VGC Journal in the aforementioned report, stating that the Switch 2 will ship with an LCD panel, rather than an OLED one in order to save money. According to those same sources, the new system will support physical Switch games via a cartridge slot. Red Gaming Tech, a YouTuber, has also started uploading videos in recent weeks that allegedly list the Switch 2's characteristics. He states that the console will include an 8-core Cortex, a 78 CPU, a GPU with 12 streaming multiprocessors, SM, 12 GB of LPDDR5 RAM, 256 GB of flash storage, and support for DLSS in his most recent video, which was released on September 15. The next console should aim for performance between 10% and 20% of the Xbox Series S with these specifications. Additionally, it was rumored by VGC and Eurogamer that Nintendo gave developers a trial of the Switch 2 during this year's Gamescom, which was held in late August. According to sources, Epic Games, The Matrix Awakens Unreal Engine 5 tech demo, and Nintendo's a souped-up version of Switch launch title Zelda Breath of the Wild were both displayed. Upon considering the possibility of The Matrix Awakens running on the Switch 2, Digital Foundry stated that the game would be conceivable on the Switch when viewed through the lens of what expert programmers can realistically achieve with more resource-constrained hardware, but perhaps in the same way that Doom 2016 and The Witcher 3 are plausible. The identification of the processor that powers the Switch 2 is something Digital Foundry feels certain about, even though many of the leaks and rumors on this page might not come true. The website speculates that NVIDIA's T239 processor will take the place of the Tegra X1 on the Switch 2 due to overwhelming evidence. It is reported to include 8 ARM, a 78C CPU cores, a maximum memory bandwidth of 102 GBs, and a 128-bit interface with LPDDR5 RAM. Its file decompression engine ought to expedite load times as well. It's unclear if all of your previous Switch games will work with the Switch 2. That being said, the business has made some inauspicious suggestions suggesting that you won't have to discard your collection in order to switch to the upcoming console. Take all of these rumors with a grain of salt, since Nintendo frequently does a better job of keeping their games under wraps than any other publisher or developer in the business. That disclaimer aside, Zippo declared in August that Unreal Engine 4 will be used in the development of a brand new major Mario title for Nintendo's next system. Presumably, this is Super Mario Odyssey's sequel, which came out a few months after the Switch. There are a number of leaks on Reddit in September, but we felt compelled to discuss one in particular. Final Fantasy VII Remake looks and runs like a PS5 game on Switch 2 Decade, according to reports, and it may be available at launch. A few weeks later, Felipe Lima, the editor-in-chief of Universo Nintendo, said on X that Ubisoft's Far Cry 7 will be the first game to be released on the upcoming Switch on day one of its release in 2025. This is noteworthy because, in addition to a well-known franchise making its way to the Switch 2, the Switch 2 appears to be strong enough to run a game that will also be released on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. None of the mainstream Far Cry titles have ever been accessible on Nintendo's systems. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Just click the bell icon right next to the subscribe button.